Looks like taking a little bit of loss here, trying his best to kind of wreck this power node a little bit. You know, more or less just kind of hunting down this Sentinel here who's on his retreat right now. Up here on the left-hand side, you can see that the Guardsmen are just kind of capping this victory point as well. Not victory point, power node. Meanwhile, the Lord General is also capping this requisition point. More towards the center, the Commissar Lord is taking control of action here. He has been upgraded to have the Power Sword ability, which I love. It gives him a nice little knockdown kind of charge attack and all that. By the way, note there are other Commissars on the field right now. His Guardsmen infantry are really, really upgraded now. He's got 12 of them per squad, meaning they each have a Commissar. They each have plasma rifles. Super duper effective there. Going to be doing a lot of damage here against the against his opponent Guardsmen here who are retreating away right now. Let's take a look around here. I want to see when this Manticore is getting used. Sometimes it's kind of hard to keep track of that stuff on the battlefield. Over on the left-hand side, that we have masses of Guardsmen here just kind of firing back and forth. You can see that this grenade volley here is kind of, you know, it's okay, but there are just way too many of them right now. 24 Guardsmen just between these two squads. That's a ton of stuff out there. Moving more towards the middle right now, we can see this Commissar is just angry Commissar, who is also getting his stubbornness upgrade right now, which also increases his rate of healing based on the amount of troops around him and that sort of thing. Commissar just kind of hanging around, big blobs of troops out here right now. Unfortunately, there are no heavy bolter teams or anything out like that right now. That's exactly what you need to kind of keep track of all that. You can see a Manticore barrage coming down right now upon those retreating troops. Maybe he canceled that? Oh, was that a flare? Perhaps. I don't know. I think that was a Manticore shot that just never happened. Anyhow, more towards the center right now. Pega is just kind of doing a lot of damage right now. It looks like the Lord General here is going to have to retreat on out of there. Commissar Lord, you can see he's got those rings of green all around him. His stubbornness right now just kind of heals him up. And he is up right now 2-1 victory points. So the score has been relatively close throughout this game right now. All players have been kind of neck and neck. It's 190 points right now for Nate, 179 right now for Pega, who is up 2-1. But you can see this last cannon team now looking a little bit unnecessary. The heavy bolter team is great, but here comes another Manticore shot. Yes, it is right there. And this is a detail that I kind of enjoy. You can see he had 4 rockets. Not knowing which direction that heavy weapon squad was going to retreat to, he just kind of put one around each of the obvious exits, hoping to get him with at least 1 or 2 of those rocket shots there. Sentinel now moving on in. Heavy weapons team took a little bit of damage from that, but nothing too much. And no, this is kind of an odd choice, and I'm not sure why exactly he's getting it. Perhaps he just wants to have more anti-infantry stuff out there. The Stormtrooper squad is coming out right now. Definitely you could upgrade that for an anti-armor kit or something. Oh, and here we have it, the creeping basilisk barrage, but I don't think it matters. It looks like, yeah, Pega saw that one coming a mile away and absolutely got out of the way, so he's taking no damage there. Meanwhile, the Commissar Lord just kind of putting a lot of pressure on these troops right now, but he is quite outgunned. Luckily, he has that shield up right now, kind of knocking back a lot of these gentlemen. Now being backed up by his own Guardsman squad, just kind of firing back and forth here, using his charge ability right here, charging into those retreating troops. But they're all going to get out of there for the time being. No! It looks like the Commissar from this squad has activated his execute ability as well, breaking the retreat for the time being, allowed them to turn back upon that Commissar Lord there. Manticore still chilling out here. And here we have it. So I Am Bored now has saved up all of his pennies, and yet again, I think you can pretty much always assume that this is going to happen out of any Imperial Guard player. He just saved up and just went straight for Tier 3 into the Baneblade, realizing that this kind of battle was kind of stuck for the time being. Yes, he has a real disadvantage against this Manticore. I don't really understand why he has these Stormtroopers out right now. It looks like he gave them the recon kit so they can infiltrate. Maybe he wanted to kind of use them to cap these points a little bit better, maybe ambushing heavy weapons teams, something like that. But it looks like they've just been kind of beat up for starters here. Lord General taking a little bit of casualties out there, but it doesn't matter because I Am Bored, a.k.a. Nate, has got his Baneblade coming out on the field right now, which is interesting. I mean, honestly, yeah, he's got a last cannon team out there, and he's got a Manticore to kind of pick it off if it stands still for too long. But even with a lot of AV, it tends not to matter. Baneblades are pretty tough units regardless. Speaking of tough units, look at this Commissar Lord just standing there taking it. Oh well. He is getting his flak jacket right now though, which I believe gives him the Inspire Terror ability, allowing him to execute enemy soldiers as well. On the right-hand side here, we have the last cannon team, the Lord General, and the Sentinel, putting some pressure on this victory point. And you can see these poor Stormtroopers here are just getting beat up by hand grenades at the moment. There's the last cannon right now, firing upon the Lord General. He's looking kind of woody here, but it doesn't matter. We have a humongous pink Baneblade on the field, and I think I'm fairly certain that Nate has forgotten about this for the time being. I just love to appreciate that. Look how the treads have that on it. Oh, well. Sorry, I know I'm missing action here. It doesn't matter, though. Looks like... Ooh, did he just accidentally shoot his own troop with that? It looked like it. No, there we go. And we have a creeping Basilisk barrage right now. Just once again, putting a lot of pressure on these victory points. Everybody got out of there, but of course it forced him to get out of there. And not really doing any damage there. But victory points. It's 134 right now for Nate and 162 for Pega. Nate is finally moving out with his humongous pink My Little Pony style Baneblade. And on the left-hand side, it looks like, ooh, we've got all sorts of interesting things going on right here. Pega has set up some proximity mines all on the floor here out in front of this victory point, as well as a heavy bunker. Although I don't think he has anybody inside the bunker for the moment. Oh, well. Let's see here. I do hear a little bit more rocket barrages going off out here, perhaps. Yes, I think that's what that just was, doing some damage to that to that last cannon team. Looks like the Sentinel's moving on out. All of these guardsmen trying to take hold of this victory point. The Commissar Lord is charging on in. That guy is brutal in close combat. Here come all of the Stormtroopers right now. You can see them firing off with their last cannons. They're doing a bunch of damage. The Sentinel right now stomping away just to try and hold on to that Commissar Lord a little bit there. A lot of casualties, though. These guardsmen are just getting annihilated. They're down to 1 out of 9. They lost their Commissar. And, oh, I think he was trying to use the Inspire Terror ability, but did not get that to work there. And it looks like that Sentinel is just going to have to moonwalk on out of there. So looking more towards the center, though, this is exactly what I would expect for a Baneblade. Just sit on the central victory point and just challenge anybody who tries to take it. For the left-hand side here, it looks like Pega was able to kind of scare away... Nate was able to scare away Pega's troops and then set up his own heavy bolter team in this Imperial Guard bunker. And now he is building a Lehman Russ. No! It looked like he had a Lehman Russ tank in the queue there, but he did not. He decided to cancel it there. Instead, going for another squad of guardsmen. Oh, okay. Interesting there. Let's take a look around. Manticore still hanging back there. Pega really needs to do something differently at this point. I don't know if he's actually engaged the Baneblade yet, but as soon as he sees the Baneblade out there, he's going to know that it's going to be a problem for the rest of the game for him trying to cap this central victory point here. The last cannon team, however, is just kind of edging up on these guys. That is, of course, pretty useful. And you can see now, queuing up that Manticore shot right on top of all of these troops right now, doing a ton of damage. Oh, completely wrecking the Sentinel, putting a little bit of pressure on these retreating troops here as well. On the left-hand side now, it looks like we had a little bit of passive-aggressive warfare going on right now as Lord General Castor was trying to cap some of these rear victory points here. But there are just a total gaggle of guardsmen out here right now, just firing away at the Lord General as he's going to have to be forced to retreat on out of there. But I'm still curious to see what the hell is going to happen here with this Baneblade. Baneblade is just kind of charging on in. You can see this last cannon is firing away at it. Looks like he's just retreating, actually. He realizes that his days are numbered. Going to have to get on out of there right now. Taking quite a bit of fire from this Baneblade. We have one last cannon team moving up here in the center, and more on the left-hand side, looks like these guardsmen are just kind of capping away at stuff that they've lost in the past. You can see this heavy bolter team in the Imperial Guard bunker now doing a lot of damage here. Although, never mind, he's calling in the Manticore barrage directly on top of that building. I'm pretty sure he completely killed that entire squad. So that squad is totally gone. He can occupy that bunker again now if he wants to. By the way, it's worth noting that there are some of these requisition points back here that have been capped by Pega. However, though, it is about to be a 3-cap once again for Nate. Nate is now capping the topmost victory point, 124 points versus 90. Pega really needs to cap these points again. You can see he's got a squad of Imperial Guardmen hanging out here in this bunker. And check out all of these proximity mines. Hopefully they'll do some damage here, but probably not so much to a general. You can see that the guardsmen right now are down to 7 out of 12, 4 out of 12, taking a ton of damage. Oh, God, those grenades really wrecking apart those guys. Looking more towards the center here, we can see it looks like perhaps, ooh, yeah, Pega's own Stormtrooper squad is now capping the central victory point right out from under his nose. But now they definitely see them and are going to have to retreat on out of there. Looking more to the left again, we can see that Pega is just having a ton of trouble trying to cap this victory point, most notably due to these the grenade launchers here on the Lord General. You can see he's just constantly resupplying here and just launching grenades into large clusters of troops, doing quite a bit of damage. I think Pega is just going to try and grin and bear it, just kind of, you know, stiff upper lip and just kind of recap this victory point, whatever the cost. I think Pega is going to tier 3 right now, which is good. Oh, and we do have a Lehman Russ on the field right now, so it looks like Nate went ahead and got this as well. Again, I like to just enjoy these kind of little mini... I think once you see a Baneblade out in the field, And then you see a Lehman Russ. It's kind of like a little baby Baneblade. You know, it's like the tiniest little version of it instead. You can see, however, though, this Lehman Russ is making humongous impressions on these troops right now. He is being upgraded to have the Executioner tank upgrade. And the heavy bolters are firing away. Last cannon and battle cannon just wrecking all of these troops right now. Pega does control that victory point, but I have no idea why he's still standing here right now. There's really nothing he can do for the time being. Here we go. Now, here's somebody who can do something about this, which is going to be the Commissar Lord. Commissar Lord has been upgraded to have a power fist. That'll definitely allow him to kind of knock about that tank quite a bit. But you can see this Executioner cannon upgrade against all of these clustered troops. I think this is just a terrible attack right now. Pega needs to get out of here with these guys. You can see just horrific casualties. And then on top of it all, we've got a creeping Basilisk barrage happening, just knocking these troops all over the place. Oh my god, the humanity! Pega, mister, what are you doing? Oh god, his troops are just getting so beat up right here. You can see that the Commissar Lord is continuing to just pound away at this thing. Looking more towards the center, however, you can see that this last cannon has been taking some pretty good shots here at the Baneblade, which is now getting picked off by the Manticore as well. The heavy weapons team is doing quite a good job here at knocking that thing down below half health. Looks like the Commissar Lord did actually manage to chase away that tank and all of those troops, which is quite surprising because he was absolutely wrecked out here. Looks like he was able to resupply them, although some of them lost their own commissars and whatnot. Repairing this Imperial Guard bunker, capping this victory point, capping the central victory point, and driving away the Baneblade. Things are actually looking really good for Pega right now. Looks like our heavy weapon squad right on the right-hand side is capping this northernmost victory point and then just kind of setting back down to guard it again. But that does mean it's 1-2 with Pega stabilized at a mere 28 points right now. And here we have it. The Baneblade and the Lehman Russ are now moving on in. Oh, God, we've got a Manticore barrage landing on top of all of this. You can see just juggling these troops all over the place, killing quite a few models right there. And now we've got just kind of execution blast coming out of this Lehman Russ tank, and the Baneblade just kind of firing away at everybody, using that special attack, just kind of leveling all this stuff out here, doing quite a bit of damage right now to that Imperial Guard bunker. You can see them desperately trying to repair it. Lehman Russ now moving on into the battlefield, trying to do some damage here. Looks like the Commissar is also just getting wrecked. Oh, God, and there goes the bunker, wrecking quite a few troops around it as well. This is really horrific, but it doesn't matter. It's still 2-1. Pega is still winning right now. He's 28-57, 56. He's ticking down. We can see that the Lord General is trying, amidst all of this, to capture this victory point, but that is just not going to happen right now. You can see that the Commissar Lord is just charging and punching away at these guys. We've got Manticore shots coming in on top of all that. Commissar Lord managing to just totally take that out right now, getting right in on top of this Baneblade. The Baneblade retreating away, and we get to see a Commissar engaged in fisticuffs at point-blank range here with a Baneblade, doing quite a good job at it as well. This Baneblade is not looking so good. He's down at like 33% health maybe, and now we have a last cannon on the field, and that Baneblade has got to be careful. He is just driven within range of the last cannon. It is 25 points right now to 48. Pega is down right now, though. He is down 1 to 2 points, and this Baneblade, oh my god, Baneblade is really getting wrecked. He is repairing it right now. Looks like we called in some landmines right across all of these troops here. The Baneblade is just getting picked off by last cannon fire. One more shot, and we do. We get to see the Baneblade go down amidst all of this right now. Pega does have landmines everywhere right now, but he's at 19 points. It is tied 1-1, and it looks like these guardsmen are just going to be able to take care of this victory point way in the left-hand side here. Last cannon team, having taken out a Baneblade, you can't really ask too much more of it. And on the right-hand side here, it looks like these Imperial Guard are just trying as hard as they possibly can to cap this victory point, even though they're being suppressed by heavy weapons, hitting the heavy weapons with their own Manticore, but just being obliterated by that creeping Basilisk barrage once again. Oh, man, that Basilisk barrage killing all but one. He's down to 14 points right now. He really needs to cap 2. He's capped the center, but is going to have to retreat. His central guardsmen have just been wrecked here. Right-hand side, we've got the Commissar there trying to cap this last victory point. He's at 8 points. He's going to decap at any moment now, which will tie it, but unfortunately in the center right now it looks like n8m is also capping this victory point, and I think that's going to spell the end of it right now for Pega. And Pega is going to tick on out of points right now, so congratulations to n8m. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, go to GameReplays.org and check out their open tournament, which is starting very soon. Game Replays Open Season number 1. They're looking for people to sign up, and I will be casting that soon. So until next time, folks, until next time.